Y'all can hear the cars sometime as they whistle by. We'll get everything started this morning. Yeah, today is Love Yourself Thursday. I want you guys to be intentional on loving yourself. What's up, Brother Wolf? All the way down. I think he's down in Arizona getting that hot. I heard it's down at 100 some degrees down there. Bring some of that heat up here, man. We need some of that heat. Without a doubt. Yeah, be intentional today on loving yourself. Wherever that is, get it done. I have some guests today. We'll be talking about some politics today. We're going to have our city councilman come in. And then also we're probably going to have Precious come in. She's going to give us a recap on the election. So we'll talk some politics today. But today is Love Yourself Thursday. Let's see what's going on here. Get some music going. There we go. So trying to coordinate, y'all. Probably gonna turn these lights off in a little bit. So hopefully y'all don't hear no buzz. So what's going on in the city, man? We're gonna be chilling today. Play some little music for y'all today. Let's see what I got on the calendar today. That's that rock star, y'all. Rock star rapper. That's that instrumental by that station. Yeah, today is Love Yourself Thursday. Be intentional today on loving yourself, whatever that is. Oh yeah, get it done. Oh yeah, whatever that is, get it done, y'all. Yeah, love yourself today. Right? You can't love anyone else until you love yourself. Oh yeah, we practice the things. Yeah, we practice the things. Oh yeah, bro. What if it's in Lincoln? All right, you back up here? Okay. Shouts out to Lincoln State Capitol. Without a doubt. Oh yeah, Lincoln's one of the cleanest city. Oh yeah, in the nation. Without a doubt. Omaha's clean too, but you know, Lincoln is extra clean. Shouts out. Oh yeah, man. It's kind of drizzly out there today, so make sure you drive safe as you go to work this morning. Shouts out to all the blue collar workers, you know, that put it in. Oh yeah, you know, there've been a lot of new cases, y'all. So just be careful out there. You know, the blue collar workers are the essential workers. They're there, you know, and make sure that, you know, that we are, you know, living life as normal as possible. So just give shouts out to all the unsung heroes. Yeah, that's what they are. Unsung heroes. They're making it happen, y'all. So yeah, they're making it happen, y'all. So we can live life as normal as possible. What's up, Brother Reed? Oh yeah. Mr. Jackson, what's going on? Oh yeah. Today is Self Thursday. Again, be intentional today on loving yourself. Yeah. You know, I like rainy days like this. So, you know, it kind of slows things down. Everything's been slowed down anyway. So you might as well finish that project that you need to finish, or start a project that you need to finish. Start. Oh yeah, I still got some work to do around the house, so I'm gonna get that one. Today is Love Yourself Thursday, y'all. Oh man, I love this day. Oh yeah, I love this day. Yeah, I usually hang out my grandson, hook up with him. You know, Love Yourself Thursday, because I like hooking up with my grandson. He called me Paw Paw. Yeah, I got a new name. What's up, Miss Jackson, Jennifer? Yeah, I got a new name, y'all. My name is Paw Paw. Oh yeah, I'm in a different timeline of life. Yeah, I'm 55, so I'm on a different timeline of life. So I got a new nickname, Paw Paw. Oh yeah. When I said, I turned around and said, dang, my name is Paw Paw. Shouts out to all the grandmothers and grandfathers that oh yeah, be guiding. Oh yeah, be guiding that their seed. Oh yeah. They guiding their seed, y'all. Because without your grandparents, oh yeah, you wouldn't exist. Because your parents wouldn't exist. So shouts out to all, you know, the mature people. Without a doubt, man. When I need to have something to go down, you know what I do? Oh yeah, I make that elder call. Oh yeah, baby. You got to make that elder call. Yeah, when you make that elder call, you get results. Without a doubt, baby. When you make that elder call, you get results. Because, you know, they got all the knowledge, y'all. They got all the knowledge. They got all the knowledge. So I'm telling you. What's up, Miss Johnson? I'm telling you, you know, the elderly, they got all the knowledge. They can guide us through this situation. You don't have to worry because they have already experienced it. So when I need to get that advice, when I need to make that tough decision, that decision that can create longevity of peace, I call the elder. Without a doubt, because you know they already been through it. They've been through it. So I got some business elders too. Oh yeah, before I make a business deal, business move, I call the business elder. Without a doubt, because they have a lifelong journey in business. Without a doubt. And then when I want to make a radio decision, again, I call the elder. What's going on, Brother Burke? I paid my bill. Thank you for not shutting us off. Appreciate you, brother. Love that neighbor, but today is to love yourself. Without a doubt, man. You got to love yourself. You can't love yourself. You can't love others until you love yourself. This is a time where we got to love thy neighbor. But let's start with self because it's necessary. And again, shouts out to the elders. We're going to do it like this, y'all. That black power, because you know why? We all neighbors, y'all. The sun's going to be out for sure. Without a doubt, y'all. I'm feeling y'all. Boss with me.
On my life, I don't have no real enemies, but I know everybody is not a friend to me. I show my people love, that's why I always get it back. And I stand up for my family, one phone call I will attack. And real recognize real, so I don't see you haters. And I'm not talking about my brothers, I'm talking about these snakes. They smile us against ourselves, killing all the black kings to keep the queen from getting out. We 40 cal, self-trained, so we don't need the army busting down my door. I wish these martial law try me. We some psychopaths, raised in the projects, and I ain't met a move. Yeah, who can dodge a tech? Hey, cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The Islanders is born in America, being black. Hey, cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against us born in America being black. They call us militant and racist cause we still resist the brainwashing and genocide by this government. My people waking up and now at least we more conscious with plans of unity, but still we must proceed with caution and breaking the cycle of thinking like slaves. Gather up knowledge and nurture your brain to change the situation. Death is what our race is facing. We in a nation where they shoot us first. Black lives mean nothing in their eyes, we just a perpetrator. And marching and holding rallies, that's not doing nothing. We tried it Martin's way and still our people struggling. It's time to educate and elevate from all the hate. Our future generations is at stake. We don't have time to waste. Cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is out. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against us born in America being black. Cause this the year of the black power. We going all in, man, this shit is ours. Hey, we moving forward, ain't no turning back. The odds against us born in America being black. Black power, black power, black power, black power. Black power, black power, black power, black.
I was born to be a star, so I'ma shine. Even though where I'm from, they be hating all the time. Seem like they expect me to fall, but I ain't surprised. My eyes on the prize, now my city's on the rise. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat.
I've been working hard for this right here. Giving my blood, my sweat, my tears. Always had dreams that I make it to the top. Even when it got hard, I kept going non-stop. Pops wasn't there, but my mama held it down. She tried to keep me from hanging with the wrong crowd. Hanging with the homies, running in and out the house. Big pounds on the table, big guns in the couch. I'm glad my little brother chose to take another route. Cause the little homie there was short the live on the ounce. You gotta reach for the stars, aim through the clouds. Cause it's way more than life than what the streets talking about.
I was born to be a star, so I'ma shine. Even though where I'm from, they be hating all the time. Seem like they expect me to fall, but I ain't surprised. My eyes on the prize, now my city's on the ride. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat.
Say what you wanna say. You gon' hate anyway. You always gon' have something to say about the moves I make, as long as all my kids is straight and all my bills is paid. I ain't gon' let your worry me. Ain't gon' let your worry me. My son, horse crossover game nice. Box a little bit, stiff left, strong rights. Crazy how life changed right before your eyes. One day you're nobody, next day you're the God. Now everybody on you talk about how they know you, claiming what you owe them, everything that they showed you. But at the same time, they can't wait till it's over. Praying for your downfall, sitting waiting like a cobra.
I was born to be a star, so I'ma shine. Even though where I'm from, they be hating all the time. Seem like they expect me to fall, but I ain't surprised. My eyes on the prize, now my city's on the ride. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I'm on my Terrence Crawford shit. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat. I feel like Terrence Crawford beat.
Say what you wanna say. You gon' hate anyway. You always gon' have something to say about the moves I make, as long as all my kids is straight and all my bills is paid. I ain't gon' let your worry me. Ain't gon' let your worry me. Say what you wanna say. You gon' hate anyway. You always gon' have something to say about the moves I make, as long as all my kids is straight and all my bills is paid. I ain't gon' let your worry me. Ain't gon' let your worry me.
Oh yeah. That's that Terrence Crawford, y'all. Bacon, Small Town General. Shouts out to Bacon, Small Town General. Yeah, that's that. So I'm trying to, I told you, us men, it takes us it takes us a long time to get groomed in the morning. Y'all women, y'all take too long in the bathroom, so I gotta. So I'm actually doing my hair, y'all. If you actually online, I'm doing my hair. You know, it takes time. You're trying to get groomed, y'all. Trying to get groomed. Today is Love Yourself Thursday. I figure I'll get a new hairstyle. How about that? You know what I mean? The hairdresser's open, but the hairdresser line long too. My barber, I can't get in touch with my barber because he's so busy making everybody look good. Today is Love Yourself Thursday. Do something that demonstrates that you love yourself, y'all. Really, really. I mean, what else is there to do? So today's gonna be kind of it's gonna be wet today, y'all. But I think it's drying up. So we'll play a little music for y'all today. What is actually going on? Let me see what's going on. Again, they are still signing up people for the ACA. So if you need health insurance, they extended the ACA, the Obamacare Act. Oh, excuse me, Obamacare. It's called the I remember, people don't have health insurance. Just want to let you know they extended the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. And so if you know someone that need health insurance, or if you need health insurance during this time, if you've been fired, furloughed. Might be having problems with language sometimes. Furloughed. If you've been any of that, you can sign up right away. So make sure you guys go to it, Affordable Care Act, go to that website, see what policy that you want to sign up for, and take advantage of getting some free health care right now. I heard they have a subsidies that will help, pay for your monthly premium. But again, that's going to be based on the plan that you sign up for. Also, if you having any difficulties, if you know anyone in the community that's having any difficulties, they can call 211. Oh yeah, 211. That number is the emergency number for anything that is domestic here in Douglas County. Yeah, without a doubt. So if you have anything that's related to anything that's domestic, far as housing, far as paying for your rent or mortgage, far as food, far as shelter, far as anything, far as domestic violence, if you experiencing any abuse, you can call 211. They can guide you to any kind of emergency services that you might need in the community. That's 211. It's sponsored by United Way of the Midland. And so we want to take advantage of the help that's out there. There are people stepping up. Oh yeah, there is neighborly love. Some people have practiced love all their life. And so it's easy to give love to others. But today, oh yeah, we got to do some self-love and some loving thy neighbor, without a doubt. So make sure you guys, if you have any needs, or if you know anyone that have any difficulties, they can call 211 and they can get some assistance. We have a vast array of nonprofits here in this community that steps up. Oh yeah, that's about it. And during this time, they feeding people. The churches are feeding people. Oh yeah, healing the people. So we just want to remind you that, even though it might seem bad, oh yeah, even though it might seem bad, there's always someone worse off than you. Without a doubt, there's always someone worse off than you. So feel blessed, even though we're going through these circumstances. use your common sense because we gotta stay alive. Oh yeah, we gotta stay alive. Without a doubt. So let's continue to practice social distance when we out in public. Wear your mask when you're out in public because people aren't wearing their mask everywhere, and so actually that's a reflection of you. You're not caring about your neighbor. A lot of people are walking around and they potentially might have the disease. We should really look at, if we don't change our behavior now, it can last longer in the future. So we got the elderly, we got young people. We have to be the example. I'm not a role model, I'm a real model. Oh yeah, I do this for real. Now, maybe we should look at the stores mandating people wear masks before they come in, because people, you know how people are. Sometimes they're in their own family. We don't agree, so you gotta learn to agree to disagree. So we can't make it a law that people wear a mask. So we gotta make sure that we take that responsibility on self. Also, we might need to make those stores mandate, if you come in here, you have to wear a mask or you don't get service. Yeah, shouts out to love to the community, y'all. Without a doubt. So let's get it done today. Be intentional today on loving yourself, whatever that is. Sometimes loving thyself is actually giving love to others. Oh yeah, it's being kind to others on a natural plane. These are the times of reset, of new beginnings. Let's take advantage of the opportunity God has bestowed on us. I know we're in this situation, but if we prepare, if we prepare, we're going to make it through. Without a doubt. God say, be still. So I'm chilling, y'all. God say, be still. So you're best to chill. This weekend's going to be nice. Get out this weekend. We have shown mad love. I'm proud of my community. Honestly, I heard people come all the way up from St. Louis to get some timeout chicken. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate love when you actually support businesses in your community. So mad shouts out to those that came down and supported, a business in North Omaha. In my feed, what part of the city you live in? How far did you travel? How long did you stay in line? Because I know some people stay in line like 4 hours over to get some chicken to support a business. So let me continue to groom and get my stuff together. Good morning. All right, I see Menard and Costco. They make you wear a mask. Kids are not allowed without one, so that's a good thing. We need to make that more universal. How are we going to get rid of this sickness if we really don't attack this on a universal level? People are getting sick. People are dying. Well, we don't want to minimize that. However, people are surviving. Majority of people are surviving. And the reason why we're going to give you some techniques is to make sure you stay healthy as possible. So exercise. That's one of the ways to beat it, to improve one's immune system. We're talking about natural things that God gives us the ability to do on a daily basis anyway. This temple is a blessing. We should be taking care of this temple without a doubt. So a part of staying alive is on us. So no matter what weight size you are, how tall, what body shape you got, I got a skinny, fat, skinny, body type. People got different body types. You got to get in the best shape for you. Oh, yeah. We got to get in the best shape for you. That's one of the remedies of beating this, y'all. A third of it is like I said, is making sure that we add exercise to our life. It's not too late. So I've been seeing people. Shouts out to I've been seeing young ladies going in pairs, walking over at Benson Park. I've been seeing couples over at Benson Park. So people are doing the thing. Run over at Nathan Hale, hitting the stairs. Keep getting it done. The next part of beating this pandemic is eating. Eating, yes. So we encourage you to add intermittent fasting. Add intermittent fasting. That means that you don't eat for a portion of the day. So one of the best things to do is fast during the nighttime. You're not eating. Usually, it's best not to eat after 8 o'clock. Give your system the chance to digest. Normally, I don't eat until after 8, so that's about 12 hours right there alone that you're actually fasting. Most people don't realize the word breakfast come from, it actually is 2 words. Let's look at the root word, break, fast. So actually, you're taking a break from your fast. That's why they call it breakfast. So add some intermittent fasting in life. You don't need a diet. We don't need you to die. Heck no. You need you to stay alive. People try to diet, try to kill themselves because the root word of diet is D-I-E. We don't want you to die. You don't need a diet. You just need to modify what time you start and what time you stop eating. And that is a weight controller itself. So you got exercise, you got intermittent fasting, and then of course the last is making sure that we have a clean environment, self and those around us, and practice those techniques that is going to keep us safe. Mask, social distancing, and then also not being in situations where you can potentially expose yourself. So carry hand sanitizer if you can afford it. If you can't afford hand sanitizer, as Dr. Smith said, just get a gallon of water. You can put 4 teaspoons of bleach per gallon, and that is enough disinfectant to kill any virus or bacteria. So let's be wise in our movement as we move forward. Let's be wise as we move forward. The day is the 21st of May. It is Love Yourself Thursday. Be intentional today. I got some guests coming in around 8 o'clock. We got Ben Gray coming in. We got Precious McKesson coming in. We're going to be talking about some politics at the top of our hour. Precious is going to give us an update on the last election. Also, the general election is coming up in November. Ben's going to give us an update on what's going on with the city. What's your plans with this current pandemic? Also, we'll talk some other city things that he's been dealing with. So we're gonna take a musical break real quick. I'm gonna let y'all just jam for a while, maybe a couple of songs. Let me see what we got over here. If you're an artist, make sure you send me some tracks. We're revamping. Yeah, Yeah, we're revamping. So also, if you have some instrumentals, if you know someone that produce music, they got instrumentals, send it to me, email it to me. All right. We all looking for more interns. You know, as the summer gets closer, if you know someone that need intern hours or community service hours, volunteer hours, have them give me a call. We can have them get them hooked up. We got things around here for young people to do. So let us know. We love to guide the next generation. They're ambitious, visionaries. We love to be around young people, without a doubt. So if you know anyone that's interested in journalism, broadcasting, let me know. Social media is actually journalism. You texting, that's writing. You taking pictures, that's a photojournalism, photojournalist. Videoing, same thing, photojournalist, videographer. So there's just always chances of getting involved. All right. So let me find this next cut. I'm gonna let y'all jam to this real quick until I get the music set up. All right, boss with me.
Yeah. Wow. Let's go. Untamed. Wake up. Yeah. Wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up. You better wake up from this dream. Life is not what it seems. This culture's not your reality. You better unplug or be a casualty. Cause the life that we lose in the drug and boozing is keeping us off from our greatness. We gotta spread the love and stop hating. Then rearrange these from murder and death to building our wealth. Removing the stealth, milking the game till there's nothing left, and teaching my people to love themselves. I'm crashing on competition, that's an interference with the commission. Man, we tired of listening, so we said enough. Unification amongst us. Wake up, 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 wake up. Wake up, 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 wake up.
Oh yeah, boss with me this morning today. Love Yourself Thursday. Be intentional on loving yourself today, y'all. We're gonna jam for a little bit, y'all. Loot Squad, Tamara, Barbara.
I'm a legend. You and me are not the same. Check the bloodline, again. I'm off gang. I'm a king. Yes, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm off legend. I'm a legend. You and me are not the same. Check the bloodline, again. I'm off gang. I'm a king. Yes, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm off legend. I'm like Bruce Lee. When I enter the dragon, girl, I'm like Tech 9. When I enter, I'm like Spike Lee. Cause I do the right thing. Boy, I'm like Chief Keef. Cause I'm gang, gang, gang. I am just like Malcolm. Get it by any means. I am just like Martin Luther. I know I'm a king. I am Huey P. Newton. I'm black, I know I got the power. I am Hannibal Lecter. All these beats I devour. I am Wiz Khalifa. I been smoking back to back. I am just like you. I been getting to the bag. I am just like me. I feel like ain't nobody better. I am just like Flame. What you know about what I'm gonna let you and me and not the same chick. Bloodline making up off gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm a legend, I'm a legend. You and me and not the same chick. Bloodline making up off gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm a legend, I'm a yeah, I'm a legend. Yeah, I'm perfection. How you gonna kill me? Nigga, I'm the weapon. I ain't worried about the killers. I ain't worried about the hitters. I'm worried about money and how we gon' get it. I'm rich, you rich. I'm full of them bags. I'm just like Hawk. I'm known to smash. I crash the beats. I stump the streets. I'm just like August. I'm known for heat. Fresh out the pot. I'm dripping with salt. Key to the whip. I'm known to take off. Let's go out the team. We all go off. But I'm totally dancing. Now who's the one? You and me and not the same chick. Bloodline making up off gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm a legend, I'm a legend. You and me and not the same chick. Bloodline making up off gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm a legend, I'm a
bloodline. Son of the sun, I'm fully melanated. Black power lifts to the sky. Fully activated, captivate the mass when I speak. Every head bow and digit is glorified king, oh precious man child. Blackfoot, color of copper, I came from the dirt. Legendary, mine in the sky, my body's mother earth. Walked through the valley of death and came out a king. Joseph, they ain't cut from my cloth. I saw so many dreams. I'm in the den with the lions. Now they calling me Daniel. I went to sleep as a peasant. I woke up as a pharaoh. No longer will I walk, I'm riding on a camel. Zulu warrior, bow and arrow, eyes on the spirit.
You and me and not the same chick. Bloodline making up off gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm a legend, I'm a legend. You and me and not the same chick. Bloodline making up off gang, I'm a king. Yeah, I'm a legend. If I die right now, I'm a legend, I'm a legend.
Oh yeah, that was that loose squad, y'all. I'm a legend. Good morning, Miss Mims. Brother Mathis. Oh yeah, this is my girl, Tamara Barber. Pace. Oh yeah, jam with me, morning.
So in the morning, I'm up talking sexy with you. Right, yeah. You know, when you bang my line, it's whatever you wanna do. Hey, baby, love when you wanna get close to me. I need your energy. I want love when you turn me on. I love when you tasting me. You work it, babe. Yeah, you deserve it, babe. Love when you text me, babe. Yeah, you deserve it, babe. Love when you work it, babe. I don't want no one else. Keep it all for me, babe. Keep it all for me, babe. It's going down tonight. Come and pick me up. Come and fill this cup. Yeah, ooh baby, put me in this ride. You know what's up. Meet me downtown. Gotta turn up this club. I want love when you turn me on. babe. Yeah, you deserve it, babe. Love when you text me, sexy. Yeah, you deserve that shit. Oh yeah, you work it, babe. I don't want no one else. Keep it all for me, babe. Keep it all for me. In the morning, I'm up talking sexy with you. Right, yeah, you know, when you bang my line, it's whatever you wanna do. Right, yeah, you know, say that you needed me, waiting so patiently. I don't need no man else, so stay someone else. Say you're someone else, I don't need you with someone else. Better expect me, babe. Better feel me, babe. I'm the type of woman I like to shoot. You know you like this freak, girl, it's a deal. You love this freakness from the back. From my back, and you know you cute to fight. Gotta feel right when you freak me back. Gotta chill vibe when you freak me back. Now you wanna chill when you freak me back. From my back, and you know you feel me back. Hey. Shake the rumba. I'm on shake this rumba. We gon' put push up on it. We gon' dance the dance of the sun.
Surrender.
I'm gonna work my body. I step back in my day. Me and my friends, we just here to have fun. We gon' celebrate our lives. No, we ain't thinking twice. Popping bottles all night. I'm faded. So I'm gonna get on the floor and shake some. Shake what your mama gave ya. I see what your daddy bless you with. Do you know who you're wrestling with? And I'ma throw it back. Can you catch that? And I'ma throw it back. Can you catch that?
I like the way shawty grooving, the way she rock her body, how it's moving. It's like she riding on the surfboard. I wanna lay down and just take the cards. I wanna feel your hips roll around, then drop, take it down. I can see what your body's doing. Come on, my baby, let's get to it. Let's switch it up when I push it through. Cause when I see, I wanna feel it too. Just twerk, 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 twerk. Then she gon' twerk. And I'ma catch that. She gon' throw it back. I'ma catch
Work, my body can't move no more. Can't catch the beat, drop it down the low. Pick it up slow when you wind it. Then let me see you grind it. Work, your body can't move no more. Can't catch the beat, drop it down the low. Pick it up slow when you wind it. Now let me see you grind it. Work, your body can't move no more. Can't catch the beat, drop it down the low. Pick it up slow when you wind it. Now let me see you, let me see you.
Twerk, 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 twerk.
And I'ma throw it back. I'ma throw it back. Can you catch that? Can you catch that? I'ma throw it back. Can you catch that? Can you catch that? I'ma throw it back. I'ma throw it back. Can you catch that? I'ma throw it back. I'ma throw it back. Can you catch that? Can you catch that? I'ma throw it back. I'ma throw it back. Everyone has to bring their booty shorts and their bikinis.
10 toes down, 2 eyes in the sky. With one heart that beats proud to realize I'm alive. I made it, that's what I say the times that I should have died. But Lord save me, is what I pray for the inside of my mind. I'm having daily shouting matches with the devil. What you want from me? To try and break me down on every level, then be done with me. See, ever since the day you took my mother right in front of me, it's so clear. A line of blood with no fear is what I pump and bleed. Friends that were never truly the family who never knew me. Yes, the fact of no one having my back has been noted duly. For real, it's not a movie. This life I live is my code of born sinner. But the veins of a winner are flowing through me saying,
gotta run away to a place where I can be myself, cause I don't wanna stay in this space where I can barely breathe. Not another day, not a second, minute, hour, oh no. Gonna keep me safe. If you feel it, come and sing with me. Run away. Run away.
Let me be the first to say that if I had the chance to leave, I'd pack my bags and run away. Like Forrest Gump, if life's a box of chocolates, I can't get a taste. Kit Kats, I got bars, but I can't even catch a break. The kickback, had a moon walking like Mike Jack. Cause when I get put on the map, ain't no telling how on act. But life had a down, wasn't even real, and I was on fast. Just like my big brother told me, get the fuck up and fight back. Ain't got no top of no slack. Make sure that paper gets stacked. No good, well, it ain't no day in hell and killing you in rap. Tying up my bread 11s and I get the stretch. I'm about to taste a blessing. If they started flexing, I ain't even stressed. Said I couldn't have it, so I'm about to get it's your sword.
Gotta run away to a place where I can be myself, cause I don't wanna stay in this space where I can barely breathe. Not another day, not a second, minute, hour, oh no. Gonna keep me safe. If you feel it, come and sing with me. Run away. Run away.
Oh yeah, that's my man Wisdom, y'all. Oh yeah, we jamming this morning. Today is Love Yourself Thursday, May 21st. Oh yeah, make sure you guys love yourself today. We're gonna keep it rolling, y'all. We got some guests coming up at 8 o'clock. Small Town Bacon. Oh no, Small Town General. My man Bacon. Can I get to know you?
Come on, Charlie, let's have some fun. We only little ones, relax and enjoy life while we both still young. You should be out here, he wants you boxed up, wanna control you, treat you like you locked up. Mama didn't raise you dumb, Mama didn't raise a bum. You better than that, you smarter than that. You can find real love, someone that's gonna have your back, someone who adores you, who don't ignore you, who reassures you, do anything for you. Someone who gon' put you first, someone who respect your word, someone who gon' put in work, be there when your feelings hurt. You need someone who supports you, someone who can show you everything you can grow to. Not trying to control you, not trying to hold you back, trying to see you slack, who wanna see you win, who really got your back. Can I get to know you? Can I get to know you? What will it take to know you? I'll do anything for you. So girl, what you wanna do? I ain't trying to make you choose. I just wanna see you win. I don't wanna see you lose. You got potential and meet the credentials. You wanna play games and mess with your mental. I know that you're tired of cheaters and liars. You need you a rider, a real provider, someone that respects you, never neglects you, be there to protect you, to hold and caress you. Someone who adores you, who don't ignore you, who reassures you, do anything for you. Someone who gon' put you first, someone who respects your work, someone who gon' put in work, be there when your feelings hurt. You need someone who supports you, someone who can show you everything you can grow to. Not trying to control you, not trying to hold you back, trying to see you slack, who wanna see you win, who really got your back. So can I get to know you? Can I get to know you? What will it take to know you? I'll do anything for you. T-Bone. Look,
New York bangers.
where's the freedom I ask as I walk through the streets? Cause where I'm from, all I see is a bunch of police. Can't escape them, it's like they put us onto a leash. Living under their control, where's the freedom of peace? Look around as I see violence, followed by sirens. The voice of women crying, another son dying. I ask myself, why, man, what's up replying? And look at where I'm living, see the circumstances given. High unemployment rate, mean less money people giving. So only way to get it is illegal by condition. This leads us into grave, will give people a conviction. And next thing you know, people on their way to prison. Listen, hear my position, cause what I'm saying, ain't no freedom for a slave or a brother, man. We go to work, giving money to another man. We go to work and somehow still end up struggling. Whether meals or us bills, gotta feed our kids. Single mothers on the rise, barely at the crib, hustling inside the fridge. See, as a child, he only feels that's just how it is. Crazy, man, I ain't proud of this curse I'm birthed in. My mama had to struggle, I had seen that firsthand. Yeah, she bounced back, but it still got worse. And to imagine saying your parents become divorced, man, making it harder, truly taking it farther. Mama doing it on her own, feeling a vacated father. But I came back, even though they not on the same track. I'm blessed, cause I was almost crack, cause I was tired of hurting. Feeling it was not for certain that I would be successful, might as well just close the curtain. But then I just adapted, and it always wasn't working. Grabbed the book and started reading on black and European bookstores. I stay looking for facts, I kept on needing. Could I become successful cause I'm black and well seasoned? Hell yeah. Look at Black Wall Street, man. 1921 in Tulsa, where Black Wall Street in. And they had dropped the bomb on it, may I called a run on it. But blacks could bring it back once again. We done it. They don't want what come from it. No doubt they'll confront it. They ain't feeling comforted. Oh well, let's convert it, cause we gon' rule again. The people once ruled the land. From out of Kibu land, Africa, we once had been a place full of rich king queens were witness. Old King Selassie once called Lidge Tafari, something they didn't teach you. Many lies they had speak through to keep you as a slave, hoping that you wouldn't seek truth. Trying to dumb you down, saying we uneducated. But them, the stuff they teach you, we created. Like man found it commit. Science further by Moors, first writing was Phoenician. Discovered at the core, Africa the land of riches. America we live in poor, not fictitious. They treat us like fishes, money the law. Are we free? Cause we slave to death. Look at our finance. We speak the IRS, keep resort into defiance by any means, anything to be seen. Moving out of broken apartments, living life out of shame. In the ghetto, same scene like out of the kettle. Little girls who 13 walk around in stilettos and pills for fun, selling inside of the market for meals of sun. People talking about sex, knowing deals to come. On my heart, STDs, highest rates of none. It's ridiculous, yet they say that we ain't slaves. Yet more money we receive, than less money is gave to our community. People living life with impunity. Meanwhile, people feeling sick, started killing quick. I can nearly sit, but I would rather take a stand. So I take a pen, writing how we on taking land. Where this enslaving man, I wonder as I sit and ponder. Forget slavery, I kinda trying to have it done for. Yeah, T-Bone. The Awakening.
I love that, man.
2017.
He's from Omaha, y'all.
Yeah, we gon' rise.
Oh yeah, we gotta have some community pride, y'all.
T-Bone now.
New York bangers.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of y'all, Omaha. We showed out this weekend for Black business. Timeout. I told you ain't nothing wrong with a timeout, y'all. Oh yeah, I know this man happy that timeout is open. Should let me get you on. I got my brother in the house. I still call him the president. I still call him the president. My brother Ben Gray's in the house. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, my brother. How you doing today?
Oh, I got good health. How about you?
Oh yeah, so far so good.
These cameras on you. They see me all day. So you healthy? Everything's going well. So how's the city? How's the scope of the city?
Well, Bill, there are a couple of things I want to talk about, if we could today.
Yeah.
One of them has to do with a social media post that was sent to me
Okay.
And in that social media post, it talks about all of the high school seniors
Okay.
getting together, having food and drinking whatever on May 30th at Levi Carter Park.
Okay.
That's a horrible idea. And I want to try and in any venue that I get a chance to speak at, I want to tell people that we're still not out of the woods with this coronavirus. I don't know when we're going to be out,
Right.
but it certainly won't be by May 30th.
Okay.
And for people to gather in a space, to plan a gathering in a space, knowing that we still have this virus out here, I just encourage people, especially the seniors in the high schools that may be listening to you,
Right.
or listening to some of the other radio stations or whatever, that this is not a good idea. And being on the Douglas County Health Board, we just had a meeting yesterday, quite frankly. And, in that meeting, our numbers are still going up. So, we're not in a position where we can say we have leveled off.
Right.
We've flattened the curve. We're not at that place yet. We're at a place now where we're still taking in more cases, and they're starting to be greater than they had been,
right?
In terms of numbers. I mean, we had almost 200 people yesterday. So we're not in a place where we can ease up off the gas at this point.
Right, right.
There are some things we can do in moderation, and I think, we are attempting to do some of those things in moderation. With restaurants and other things. But the fact of the matter is that we're not out of the woods by no stretch of the imagination. And, the numbers reflect that, the Hispanic Latino community is suffering greater than any of the other ethnic groups. And our numbers are down, our numbers are down around where we are right now. We make up the numbers of people that have COVID-19 in the African American community, make up about the same number of people that, percentage-wise, the same number of people that live in Omaha.
Okay.
But I'm concerned, and I asked yesterday, and the answer was not good, but, we've got a lot of people in our community that haven't been tested yet.
Right.
And so, until those tests are done, we're not going to actually know what those numbers are going to be, how fast they're going to go up, and how soon we can level the curve.
Okay. So now testing is going to be...
Testing is key, man.
Yes.
Testing is critical. And I was aware that we are now starting to... Charles Drew Health Center, they have a testing place. Nebraska test down at CHI Health Center arena.
Okay.
They're doing testing down there. NOAA is beginning to do testing and get test kits and so forth. So we got a number of people that are starting to get them now.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, and they're not getting a lot though, Brother Bill. I got to tell you, they're not. They're not getting the numbers of test kits that we need to have.
Why is that? Because especially if
they're not being made, because we don't have any. Because in the beginning, people can say what they want to say, but when this thing first started, the missteps by the federal government led us to this position.
Okay. And
there were a number of missteps. There were people who, when we had and I'm talking about the country now, we had a pandemic plan. President Obama talked about it as far back as 2015.
Okay.
And putting a plan like that in place. And he had some of that in place. It was dismantled by this administration.
Right.
So now here we are scrambling, to try and get test kits, scrambling to try to get PPEs, personal protective equipment.
Right.
We're struggling to do all that now when if we let me change up. If this country had not been so racist,
right.
Had they not done that,
right.
Okay, we would be in a better position than we are today.
Right.
But for a person to come in and dismantle the work of a black man simply because he's a black man,
right.
And, now we're suffering for that.
Right.
The racism that is going on now, all of us are suffering for it because of that and other things. So,
right out.
We're not in a position right now where we can, we need to get more testing in.
Right.
So, and that's my concern about the African American community. So It's a number that I'm going to continue to watch. It's a number that I'm going to continue to be on top of because, I don't know that we've done anything right now other than the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
So we got to address that.
Without doubt. So I want to go back to your email because I remember when I was a senior, my mom passed recently and I was upstairs cleaning out pictures and stuff. And I found some pictures of my senior skip day. You know what I mean? So, but it was sanctioned, and so I understand that they want to do that, but is there an alternative that we can give them like later on in the year where we can say, well, young people, we know you want to get together. May 30th is not a good idea, but we're going to be working something out for you guys in the future. Can we give?
Yeah, no, the date is not what's bad. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean, sometime in the future, people are still going to gather. Iowa is opening up bars, movie theaters, and they basically open up the whole state on the 28th of this month. I know Ricketts and I know we're more have a way cautious approach over here.
Well, Iowa's a little. You got to look at them state by state.
Right.
And Iowa is a little further down the road in terms of their testing and other things than we are.
Okay.
And so they can, and while they haven't flattened the curve, their numbers are starting to go down a little bit.
Okay.
And so Iowa's going to be a little bit different. They have a greater population.
Right.
They had more deaths. They had twice as many deaths as we did.
Right.
They had 3 times as many people that have been tested so far. So, you got to take it state by state, in terms of what other people, because you can't, if we judge what's going on in New York, we'll never open up anything.
Right.
If we judge what's going on in Iowa, we may open up too soon. So it's got to be a Nebraska problem that is solved, not a Nebraska problem that we solve it by looking at Iowa or New York or South Dakota or somebody else.
So how can we approach these young people that are eager to gather? Because I know
one of the things that I'm reluctant to do, Bill, is tell young people how to put something together.
Right.
I'd rather have them do it. The only thing I'm saying is there are ways to do this that are safer.
Right.
There are ways. I mean, let's say you want to do something, you can do something like a parade if you want to through Carter Lake Park and everybody just wave at the seniors or something like that.
Oh yeah.
There's all kinds of things like that you can do that don't involve eating, close contact, and other things like that.
Right. So that's a great idea. So why couldn't that be interjected where it's not a good idea now, but if we take time, we can do this and give the young people another alternative. To me, that's a great idea.
That's one proposal.
Right.
I don't want to tell people what to do, but that's one proposal.
Right. Because I really don't want them to gather either because they're going to be going back with their parents and grandparents.
And see, people need to understand that's the problem.
Right.
The problem is not whether you want to gather and have fun and so forth and so on. Is that if you gather and you have fun with people who have contracted it, that first of all, you don't know for 2 or 3 days that you even have it.
Right.
So you take that home to your siblings, to your grandparents, to others who have a little bit less immunity than you do.
Right.
And you take that home to them, you are essentially causing their difficulty, not necessarily yours. So that's all. That's what I'm saying, Bill. Just let's just be in this certain period of time. Let's be as cautious as we can be, so that we can get through this thing as fast as we can get through it, so that we can start dealing with some of the other we need to deal with, including city, county, and state budgets that have been decimated by this coronavirus.
Right. Now, we'll talk about politics, and I know Prescott Pope will be here later. Is the state are they open?
My understanding is that they are going to go back into session, I believe, sometime in July.
July.
I believe they're going back into session. I don't know even how that's going to work,
man.
But we all of us, whether it's the state, whether it's the county, whether it's the city, whether it's the school district, learning community, you name it, whatever political subdivision it is, we're going through a lot of changes, and our budgets are being busted. And right now we're at a point. The city is at a point right now where, we're down pretty close to $75 million, and we're not necessarily out of the woods yet.
Okay,
but we're at $75 million, and the problem about that is that we got to make that up this year.
Man, okay.
We got to figure out how to make that happen this year. So those are some serious things that we have to work on. But the main thing we have to do now, so we can continue to do business later on, the very important business that we have to do later on, we need to be safe now.
Right.
So that we can get through this as fast as we can get through it.
Now, do you think Black people are comfortable because we've been through so much, and to us, this blow is like a feather versus someone else is like a rock? Because in regards to economic, because most of the businesses, especially our major business that we don't own, so it seems like we take an approach like we are relaxed in this situation, especially like we said, we're still playing an organization, we're playing events. I mean, it seems like we're comfortable.
I don't want us to be comfortable.
I know.
I don't want us to be relaxed. I don't want us to think this is over by any stretch of the imagination. Most people are talking about a fall or a winter, startup again to this thing. And
right.
So the best thing to do is, as hard as it is, to ride it out as much as you can now, be as safe as much as you can now, so that we're not riding this curve again in the fall.
Right.
So
what should we be planning? Well, I mean, what should be the strategy? Especially we can foresee we're having strain on the budgets. Are your debtors going to give the city a break, just like OPPD has, as well as MUD has in relationship to the citizens?
Bill, it's too early to say those things. It's too early to say, what, people that we have debts with, what they're going to do. It's too early to say, and part of the reason it's too early to say is we don't know if there's going to be another stimulus package is going to include dollars that go to cities and states where their budgets have been decimated. We don't know any of that. So it's still kind of early to say, but, I think we need to continue to follow the policies of the health department.
Okay.
But absent that, the budget things are going to come. They're going to be heavy. We're going to have some issues. A lot of people are going to walk away unhappy. But at the end of the day, with this virus coming the way it did and catching everybody the way it did, it's going to take some time for cities and counties and states to recover. I do want to talk about one other thing, Bill. I don't want us to leave here without talking about, there was an article that was done in Sunday's paper.
Okay.
And that's in Sunday's paper, it talked about who owns land around here. And specifically we're talking about Susie, the organization that is part of the Sherwood Foundation, or the company that operates for the Sherwood Foundation. I want to make sure we get to that. But I want to answer all your other questions first.
I do want to talk about that, but I wanted to. No, let's switch to that. That was a big article that was shared with me because people are concerned that they're buying out North Omaha. My perception is that, man, we need to start buying some things because they already got it now, so we can't.
Well, when I first got on the council, among the things that were in flux and of concern to me. Had to do with a number of properties that one of our nonprofits wanted here, Omaha Economic Development Corporation, and it was land that was had been promised to Omaha Economic Development Corporation, but that land had not been moved, and so I pushed the planning department to provide land for Omaha Economic Development Corporation, the land they were looking for to do some of the things that they wanted to do, like Fair Deal Village, like the senior facility, and some of those other things that they wanted to do. So I made sure they got that. I made sure that land got to them, and in some instances, that land came to them with a reasonable price.
Okay.
And so they were able to do something with that. Now, the concern that I have heard, at least as I understand it, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong or if it's different. The concern that people have is the amount of property that HR Land Development, I think that's the name of it.
I think it's RH or something.
RH Land Development.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, RH Land Development. The amount of property that they're getting, but comments in the paper, and I stand by those comments. The fact of the matter is that every time there has been development, no matter where it occurs in this community, there's always been a public hearing.
Right.
The public has always been invited in.
Right.
And with RH Management and all the others, the same thing has always occurred. I'm expecting that that's going to be the same process that they use, where, I'm not sure that they, like, the folks who have purchased the Small Business Network and others, I'm not sure that they have a plan yet.
Right.
But when they do have a plan, that plan is going to come to the community for vetting. It's been done in the past. It's always been done in the past, quite frankly. It was done, when they put together Educare. It was done when we were talking about North Star. It was done when we were talking about gang intervention work. It was done when we were talking about Step Up. All of those things were done in a public hearing fashion. So I'm anticipating that the same thing is going to happen. I don't think people are going to try, especially this group is going to try and do things in the dark. So I don't at this point have any concerns about that.
Right.
And the other thing that people need to know here is that, the city council or city government, we can't get involved in we can try to sway. And when it comes to the council if there's a project that comes to the council for approval, then the council can say, have you talked to the community? Have you done this? Have you done that? All of those kinds of things. And we ask that of every single developer, no matter where they are. Have you talked to the community? Has there been some meetings that you have held? And that's what we're going to be demanding of everyone, no matter what the project is. But the other thing that we need to consider is, Bill, in 1991, and I've been around for a while. I co-founded an organization called the Black United Fund of Nebraska.
Yep, and that's that's how we got funded.
And yeah, see, and so the thing is that with the Black United Fund of Nebraska, when we founded that thing, and it was myself and a gentleman named Tariq Al-Amin, who used to be a police officer. The two of us, founded the Black United Fund of Nebraska. And when we founded it, in our bylaws, it would say it says that we are going to do three things and three things only: purchase land, operate low or no interest loans for business startups that have a good business plan, and support organizations in the community that are operating in the best interest of the African American community. Now, there was a caveat with that. And the caveat that I wanted in there was that we don't accept any money. And I'm not being racist here. I'm just saying we didn't accept any money from white people.
Okay.
And we didn't accept any money from white people not because of any racist thing or racist intent.
Right.
But Black children need to see that Black people can raise money and do things.
Without a doubt, yeah.
And so that was the premise behind starting the Black United Fund in Nebraska. And what we were intending to do was ask our community for $10 a month.
Okay.
And and it's like the United Way. Once you give it, you lose it. It's not, you have, but you waste $10 every day anyway.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Big Mac, McDonald's, whatever the case may be. You waste, you spend that kind of money anyway. So why not put it towards an effort in the community? And had we had that fund in place and had we been building like we had intended to, we wouldn't be talking about this discussion today, because we would be the ones that would be able to pay for our own land, to pay for our own development, to pay for, and that's where we got to get to. We got to stop being children, start taking care of what we need to take care of. And when we know that finances are needed, we have to be smart enough, diligent enough, and work with enough people that we trust enough to establish, if nothing else, giving circles and other things so that we can purchase property,
Right.
so that we can be significant players. But to sit on the sideline and complain, that's not where we need to be. And that's not going to be beneficial long-term for our children in the community.
Without doubt. I think right now we need to take advantage of this reset. I mean, I looked at the article. I don't waste a lot of energy on crying over spilled milk because it's already done. I look at us strategizing and developing our own parallel structures so we can get 34 billions our own self. I mean, so that's what we really need to be talking about versus, whining and complaining. I'm not a whiner and complainer. I'm a doer.
And we do have people in the community. We do have, for example, with the Empowerment Network, we do have people that are engaging specifically and very strongly in entrepreneurial methods.
Oh, yeah, right.
To own businesses and so forth. The Carver building is going to open up pretty soon. That's a Black-owned organization. I helped get them that building. And so, it's one of those things where, we need to continue to be concerned about, when people purchase property, what they're going to do with it. But we also need to be aware of the fact that in almost every instance, as a matter of fact, there's not one I can't think of where when a development was getting ready to be introduced, that there was public discussion about it.
Right.
So I don't anticipate that that's not going to occur. And again, I want to say very clearly, we can have some influence sometimes, but for government at any branch to get involved in private with private buyers and private sellers,
it's unethical, really.
Of course it is. It's unethical, number one. But number two, if you spent your time doing that, you wouldn't spend your time doing anything else in city government that needs to be done.
Well, we have the same time, same potential. Through collective economics, we can do the same thing. I'm a recipient of the Black United Fund. I remember going to African American bookstore and giving a presentation of my radio idea. And so I got my first $2,000 from the Black United Fund. I brought my first transmitters. I bid it on my house, and that was the beginning of this empire. Per se. But it started with brothers and sisters coming together, having foresight to invest in other ideals. Man, and when it stopped, I was kind of hurt because I knew what a great effect. I mean, it started me. It started my business. It was the first seed money that seed. And so we need to get back to those same methodologies because I know they work.
They work, and I think we those are the places where we need to be. We have a number of people. Some of them have been on your show that I've listened to. That are financial planners and others. They have really good ideas,
right?
As to how we, come together and pool our resources. It amazes me sometimes, and it bothers me too, that I can look back and history is something that I strongly believe in,
right?
And I'm a history buff, if you will. And historically, when you look back at the fact that we had Black people who didn't make the kind of money that some of us are making now, but they put together their nickels and dimes and they built colleges and they built towns,
right?
Hospitals. There's a documentary where it is talked about the number of Black towns that were Oklahoma alone, not let alone the rest of the country, but all of them knew the necessity for having your own finances, having your own resources,
right?
All of them knew that. And so, today with the kind of money that some of us make, not necessarily me and you, but
right.
the amount of money that some people make, we need to have that togetherness again, where we trust each other enough to at least put that money that we raise, put it in the right places so that we can have something that not only that we own, because you can't take anything with you, when you leave this earth, but so that you have a legacy for your children.
Right now, without a doubt, the earth, you mentioned the earth is the most important thing. Land is the most important thing. Structures come and go, but the land is valuable. It's crucial. Man, I miss Brother Tyreek, boy. I mean, what? Y'all used to get it on. Far as man, that Black United Fund that has to start back again. I really want to advocate that, and I know we was on the call with Brother White, Ernest, and a lot of people talking about a lot of ideas. Brother Hayes.
Ernest was on the board when we started the Black United Fund.
Okay.
Ernest White was one of our board members.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, so we got the intelligence.
We had the ability.
Yeah,
we got it done. I mean, in the space when we started the Black United Fund, in the space of about 4.5 months, we raised about $36,000. And we didn't push like we should have. We didn't advertise like we should have, and some of the other things that we should have done. But we just went to our own. And yeah, I have to tell you, I had people that are white friends of mine that said, "Look, I want to give you some money. Can I give it to, one of my Black friends and let that?" I said, "No, it can't. It's got to be Black folks doing for self, so that our children can see that it can be done."
Right. I agree with you, Brother Ben. So we talk. I don't want to leave the subject because
if you don't want to leave it, I'm good.
But that's the seed money that started the station. I mean that methodology. I mean that methodology is so important to bring it back. And do we need to bring a Black bank in?
That's coming.
Do we need to
that's coming?
And Hayes, Hayes the top accountant. Let Hayes manage it. I mean, we really got to.
We have the talent.
We got it.
We have the talent.
It's already been done before.
We just have to put the pettiness aside and deal with, because we have the talent, we have the skills, we have the ability in a variety of areas. We have financial planners now that are top notch in here. You had Nicole Ryan and a couple of other people who have been, man, they know what they're doing,
right?
And they can talk to you specifically about wealth and wealth management and how to build and so forth and so on. We have people who have turned them. Nicole is one of those who kind of turned herself around a little bit in a certain number of ways. And now what she's doing now is magnificent. But there's a group of individuals that are capable of doing all of that now, that are available to us, who are skilled professionals, who know how to get things done if we listen to them.
Right. Well, that
stop playing those little silly games that we play.
Well, Brother Ben, we need to be the example. Let everybody else jump aboard while they see the train. That's fine.
But that's what I'm doing anyway, bro. I'm moving forward. Well, that's what we got to do.
Without doubt, because I remember you said we got to stay alive. We got to stay alive, and then so we can fight the next day after all these disparities. But right now, I think there's need to be some unified mechanism. Collective economics I've always preached that. Black United Fund, to me, I think it needs to be revived. I mean, it's just universal. And if people want to I'll call it, if they white men, if they go outside, man, if they get a little tan, they black, man, they black. So
Bill, like I said, if we
because man, you guys helped a lot of people, bro. I mean, if I didn't get that seed, bro, money, we might not be able to exist here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that is so important. That $2,000, it manifests this, brother.
And we still got, and there's way more that we could do if we can set aside, petty differences.
Right.
If we can, those who want them fight,
let them fight.
But let them fight over there. We got business to do over here.
Period.
And that's what we need to be doing. I would love to start it up again. I mean, I would love to get it going again.
Yeah, because brother Tyreek, I know that he sat down a few years ago. I said, "Damn, brother Tyreek, maybe it just needs some new energy."
And some new leadership, probably, right, if we want to do it again, because you'd have to. I'm not sure where it sits in the Secretary of State's office.
But we got this media. I mean, we're working together as a media conglomerate, all these black units. We're making people aware of this pandemic. We also can make people aware that we're starting an economic mission for our community. And then whatever you can donate is going to this bank. It's been managed by such. It could be transparency, who are donated. I mean, all that, and then we can decide what we can do with that monies after 3 months or whatever. Because I believe we gotta have to take care of ourselves, really.
Exactly. And Bill, if we had $10 a month, if we had, and I wanted to make sure that we included the community in this to give
Right.
$10 $10 a month. If everybody did that,
man, we can do a
and
campaign.
not worried about what the projects are that we're going to do,
Right.
because if it's going to benefit the Black community, you ought to be about it anyway.
Right.
So, with $10 a month, you get 15,000 of our Black residents contributing at least $10 a month.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the year, we'll have close to $2.5–3 million. And you take some of that and you invest it, and the rest of it you take and you do it in the form of grants to businesses like yours to purchase land. If we had that thing in place now, we'd be purchasing the land, not somebody else.
Right.
Not even OEDC. I mean, the Black United Fund would be purchasing the land.
Right.
So I just
because I mean, you said it right now. You said the best. Let's get healthy. Let's stay alive. But right now, I believe because I'm a 60 baby. I was born in the 60s. You're probably one organizing in the churches and organizing, planning, and strategizing. I was one of the youngins. But we need to really go back to that reset. I believe that God's given us a chance to reset and to really go back to what works and implement what works. Period. I don't care if it's 20 years old. I don't care if it's 50 years old. I don't care if it's 100 years old. If it works, let's implement it.
And let me say this: the Black United Fund didn't operate in all ways the way that I wanted to see it run. But we did accomplish your thing accomplished. We got a couple of other things accomplished, and so we need to if we're serious about being players, if we're serious about controlling our destiny, living in a capitalistic society, we have to recognize that capitalism, unless we want to change now, most religions will tell you, especially the Catholic Church will tell you, capitalism is one of the worst evils in the world.
Right.
And I wouldn't disagree with that.
Right.
But that's the game we're playing. Okay. So until you get in a position where you can change that game, you got to play by those rules.
Period.
Okay. And that's what this is.
Malcolm X's birthday was 2 days ago.
Yes.
The same day as the grand opening of Time Out.
Yes.
What would he'll been 95? And I went to the grave. I went to the birth site, and the trees are there, but I can imagine all the cars. I seen all the cars. I said, dang, Brother Malcolm will be happy this day that brothers and sisters are supporting another Black business. What are your thoughts on just, it was Malcolm X's birthday. A lot of people didn't celebrate it. I heard that they used to do Malcolm X Day back in the day here, parades. It's not taught in schools, but without Malcolm X, by any means necessary, where would we be?
That's now you're making me be a little nostalgic here. We, a group of us, like you said, back in the day, we used to celebrate Malcolm X's birthday every year. And one year we had over at the middle school over here.
Was Conestoga?
Not Conestoga. God, I don't. My mind.
Howard Kennedy?
No, the middle school. King Science Center.
King Science Center. Okay.
King Science Center when it was Horace Mann.
Okay.
We brought in Betty Shabazz, Avery Brooks, Maulana Karenga, all those people we brought in one day,
man,
for a Malcolm X celebration at Horace Mann Park and then up at the birth site.
Okay.
So we used to do that every year. And then, some of us who were on the organizing end of it were kind of tired of it. They're kind of tired of doing all the work and wanted some other people to take it over.
Right.
And nobody ever took it over. And so it kind of died. But I think that's a celebration that it bothers me that we don't celebrate it the way we should. This was one of the greatest men ever. And he was born right here.
Right.
And we should be celebrating that every year in a bigger way than we do right now. We used to do that. We used to have people in every year. We used to have speakers in every year. We used to have programs all day long or all weekend long in some instances on Malcolm X's birthday.
Man.
You know, we would go from May 19th and the 20th and 21st, and we'd do a whole weekend of things. And, you know, I was part of the group that, you know, brought in these folks and covered them and, you know, had really great video of them. We brought in groups from North High that sang, you know, the North High Choir and others.
Right.
You know, I mean, we had a whole afternoon of things that we did that went on into that night and the next day.
Right.
So, you know, I would like to see us get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
It particularly bothers me when being on the Turnback Tax Committee, you know, one of the first things I did when I got on the council was make sure that the Malcolm X Foundation, you have to remember, they didn't have a building prior to us getting on the council.
Right.
Now they have a building.
Right.
You know, because we were able to get them the money to buy that building.
Yes, sir.
And then even more than that, I helped negotiate what the price was going to be, because some people were going to charge them way more money than they should have charged them.
Okay.
And so we got that kind of straight so that they could get.
Okay.
And we did that. That was a concerted effort between myself, Chris Rogers, and Brenda Council, with the intent of keeping up the Malcolm X celebrations that we do every year. And for whatever reason, it went away, and you know, like a number of things do. And you know, it's time for some of us, you know, some of you younger folks, because I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to try that again. But you know, it's time for some of us to bring it back. But we can't bring it back
with guidance, though. With guidance,
yeah. You can't bring it back stupidly. You got to know significantly what Malcolm X was about.
Period.
And you gotta be able to regurgitate those speeches and lay out what happened, what occurred then, and what has changed, if anything, between then and now.
Right.
Okay. So that's where we need to be. And I would hope that some of you all, young folks, who do have the energy, would think about how we do. And I would be glad to help you, you know, help you understand, first of all, what we did, how we did it, who we could, so forth. But, you know, I would prefer that some young people take it over, you know, so that they have that history, and then they in turn can pass that history on.
Without a doubt. So we've been talking to our councilman, Brother Ben Gray, just on a variety of things, just not only on the pandemic, but the email that he received over the weekend that teens are wanting to gather. I think we said on the
30th of May.
30th of May.
And that's not a good idea.
And our concerns as a community, because those young people can actually take those, get affected and take that back to their families.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really the major concern. You know, those young people are healthy, so they're not thinking about it. And we know you guys are seniors, but Brother Gray, I remember I was a senior, Brother Gray. I was a senior, Brother Gray. I was a senior.
And I know this pandemic is not fun for people. It really isn't. But
we're gonna have another alternative, because, like I mentioned, Iowa, because Iowa open up. That's like a teaser. They over there. They open it up. They going to movies, but we over here, but yet we so close. And the kids right there, they just want to party. In Carter Lake, Iowa. So I mean, we can't separate from Iowa.
I know, but again, let me say again, Brother Bill, that the thing we got to do is recognize that each state has to operate differently.
Yeah,
Iowa has had twice as many deaths as we have had.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa has, because of their testing, they've got a number more people that have been tested positive and negative.
Is that because they took the Medicaid expansion?
That's part of it, yeah. That's part of it, so you can test more people.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So that's all part of it. I forgot to mention that, but good point. But yeah, that's part of it. But you know, they are further along in the progress in opening back up, because they, like us, addressed it early, but they got hit a lot harder. You know, but they're starting to come out of it now in some ways, we think.
Right,
because we're not sure that they're going to come out of this. We're not sure that they're not going to have to shut back down again.
Right.
So there's so much we don't know. We have to really be careful as we watch other states do what they do, so that, you know, if we find a state that has to close back down, we don't want to do the same things that they did and end up in the same place that they're in.
Right. Good morning, Martine.
Good morning, Counselor.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm
Good.
doing good.
Good to see you.
Mom needs the address so she can send. Okay.
Okay.
We gotta get that before we leave.
All right.
This is personal. This is
Hey, they doing their side hustle.
Good morning, Omaha, Nebraska. Councilman, it's good to see you today.
Yes.
You looking healthy?
So far.
I was listening to the show on the way in all morning as I was getting ready for the day. They talked about, I heard on the news, Iowa's opening up, you know, other
a little bit more
establishments and everything. And we're you know, we're so close to Iowa. You know, we're Omaha, and we can just go right over to Council Bluffs. And I know you've been talking about our concerns for them opening up, and should we open up, and our young people wanting to hang out and all that kind of stuff. So what's going to happen is we're going to find ourselves, people are going to be going over across the border into Iowa, hanging out, whatever, and coming back over here in Nebraska. Is there plans in place to kind of, is there going to be an allowance for that, for people to just be able to go over there freely? Or, because I know that there's, you know, checks here and there, but with Nebraska still being on lockdown, so to speak, what would be the concerns as far as the health department is concerned about us crossing over and then coming back and maybe potentially picking up
the health
virus?
Department is very much concerned about that. But you know, in Iowa and coming back, you know, people are going to do that. You can't stop people from doing what they want to do. I wish you could in some instances, because if we could just stay at home long enough to flatten this curve, we would be a lot better off, I think. But you know, there's serious concerns about going. For example, if you leave the state, standing is, and I may be wrong about this, and I don't know if you know, but when you leave the state and come back, isn't there a test? Don't you have to quarantine for 14 days when you come back?
I never thought about that.
I mean, I think that's what you do. I know that if you travel by bus or airplane and stuff like that, when you get off, in most states that I'm aware of, and I think Nebraska is one of them, you know, you have to quarantine.
Is that a volunteer thing? You just
that's not volunteer. I mean, that's the thing. Well, it's volunteer for you. I mean,
you just self quarantine.
You just self quarantine for. That's what I'm told, but I don't know that that's. You know, I don't know that Nebraska is one of them. I know that in some states they require you, and it's not even states. In some instances, once you leave the county, once you go from one county to the next county, you quarantine for 14 days. Now, I don't, you know, I'm not really, you know, I don't want to talk too much out of school about that, because I'm not sure if Nebraska is one of them. I don't remember, because.
Well, that's where I was getting at with my question, because I heard that some reservations, the Indian reservations, are have checkpoints of people coming into their area. They're checking to see, are they coming in from another state? And so they're just trying to find out who's coming in, where are they coming in from? Would that be something that Nebraska or even Omaha would, or as a county would do? Because of the opening up of Iowa, and we're just a hop, skip, and a jump from Council Bluffs. Coming and going. Shoot, if the neighboring county or city is opening up and we're not, yes, people are going to want to go over and do whatever they want to do and come back. So that could be potentially dangerous, because
it could. The
virus is still here.
But what do we do about that? I mean, we can't stop people. We can stop them from when they come back. We can check them, but we can't stop people from moving wherever they want to move to. I mean, I think we start getting into constitutional issues when we do that.
I understand that. But, so we're between a rock and a hard place.
Kind of, yeah. Because until we know, and you got the other thing that people need to keep in mind is that we all here, in spite of what we say to you all, we for the most part are still flying blind. We've not seen this before.
Right.
We don't know what the characteristics of this is going to be. We don't know how long it's going to last. We know a few things about how it's carried and how contagious it is, but we still don't even know all the answers to that.
Right. Exactly.
So when there's so much we don't know, it's safer to do what we're attempting to do by, people being locked in
Mhm.
or staying at home or whatever the case may be. But even with that, you're going to have a difficult time, because some people are just going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And there's no there's no way to get around that.
Mhm.
I mean, the only thing you can do is, for me, for example, I had to go to Home Depot yesterday for something. I don't even remember what I went for. That's age.
Change the light bulb.
That's age. But anyway, I went up. I went up there, and now if you go up in the morning, because mostly what I try to do is most of my shopping in the morning. Because most people in the morning have enough sense to at least wear a mask. If you don't do anything else, at least wear a mask. I went up to Home Depot, man, and they're, and not casting aspersions on them because they're doing the best they can, but we had people up there that would congregate, and some of them didn't have masks on, and most of them didn't have masks on, and half did and half didn't. And, so what I do is I go up there and I make sure that, number one, my mask is on. And number two, not only can you not get 6 feet within me, you can't get 12 feet within me. Because I don't know how that spreads, and I don't want to take anything home. I don't want to bring anything to the Boss Radio show. I don't want to do any of that. So I'm extremely careful about that. So, those that don't want to do it, good luck for them. But those of us who do consider this as important as we do, and then being on the Douglas County Health Board, and the other thing, about that being related to being on the Douglas County Health Board, we were talking about COVID-19 in January. I mean, we knew it was coming. So it puzzles me how in the middle of the country we can know what's getting ready to happen, and our president doesn't.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave that right there. But I believe
we have way more ethics, in the Midwest. We love a little bit more out here, and so we don't care about our neighbors. But like I said, but we need to step it up because it's a crucial time. It's rising up, and we got to take those precautions and stay wise during this decision. So what else going on?
Well, I don't want us to leave right away, Bill. I don't want us to, because you raised an issue, I raised an issue, and I think it's important for us to talk about having our own money. Okay. I don't want us to leave that, because I hear people sit and complain, but most of them don't have. Not only do they not have any money, but they're not looking at any method on how we can raise money. And that's what we need to be doing at this point. They did it in Rosewood, Florida. They did it in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They did it in Oberlin, Ohio. They did every place where they've done it and been successful. That's a model for us to look at. Now, I know that the history books try to leave Oberlin out, try to leave Tulsa out, try to leave all of them out. But there are those of us who know this, and there are those of us who know how they did it. And we bring in financial planners now into your show and others that can tell you how to do it. And they look like us. We should be listening to them. I mean, we should be listening to them, because that's the way out of this. Unless you're going to change the system of capitalism, because that's what this is. And it would be unethical. You can influence certain things being on the council, but it would be unethical to be involved in what private buyers and private sellers do.
That's why I'm part of the Business Alliance, Business Ethics Alliance. So no, I like to deal with people with ethics. That's why I love dealing with neighbors here in Nebraska. I love dealing because I feel like ethics is on a whole level. But we got to start making money ourselves. The Black United Fund was the first seed money on my idea. It felt good going to African American bookstore and saying Black people, I could go ask money for them because I couldn't go to the bank.
Right.
Honest to God. I couldn't go to the bank.
Yeah, you didn't have any collateral. And not only did you not have any collateral, you have to remember that this part of the community, this part of Omaha, was disinvestment and lack of investment, and it was done on purpose. And we need to know that, and we need to keep that in mind as we move forward. If we don't want to be in these same traps,
Right.
if we don't want to fall for the same game, let's put some money together, folks.
Without doubt.
Right.
And that was a game changer. The Black United Fund. Man, that was like the providence of my idea. It was like the pitch. It was actually basically the pitch. I pitched my idea. You guys believed in me, and man, it's like when I got my CETA job and how important Step Up is during this time and making sure Step Up stay funded. Those jobs and those well, we're gonna get 6 of them here.
Yep.
Right here. So those experiences are important to those young people.
Those experiences, especially in this type of venue, those experiences are critical because it teaches you, if you're paying attention, it teaches you, first of all, public speaking skills, and that's what you want to do. You want to be able to do that, no matter what you want to do, especially if you're in business, you want to be able to speak clearly and help people understand your idea.
Yeah.
If you want to run for office, you got to be clear about what you're saying and doing and what you say you're going to do. All those things need to be clear so that people have an understanding of where you're headed. No, I'm good, sir. No, I got to get out of here in a minute anyway because I got to go do some shopping for the towers.
Shopping for the towers.
Yeah, Saka and I with OHA, we've kind of focused on. We raised some money with some. Again, we put together a group of folks. We've raised now somewhere around $9,000.
Oh, good.
And all of that money we spend on the towers because people need to recognize food's going to be an issue for a lot longer than this virus is going to be around. Let's say, for example,
your money on?
Yeah, that's what we spend it on. We spend it all on the towers, making sure that the tower, and we've been doing this now for about 3 weeks. But the first week we recognized that what they need more than anything else is cleaning supplies. So we went, because it doesn't make any sense to buy things for people and not know what they want and what they need.
That's right.
And so with the towers, we found that in several of them, what they need are cleaning supplies. What they need is bleach. What they need is hand sanitizer. What they need is hand soap. Those kinds of things. So we went out and got those things first. But we knew food was going to be an issue, so we did food with it. And and so knowing now, what's kind of needed in those towers, we're going to always make sure that what we're doing, there's always going to be some cleaning supplies in the shipments that we send to them, but it's also going to be food stuff. We go to various places, and Brother Bill, some places we clean them out. we take all the canned goods and all of that.
That's good. That's good.
We've been on a store down here, and then they got boxes set up.
Okay.
I said, who that going for? They're going to Salem, or it's going to this church.
One's going to Salem, one's going to me, one's going.
That's a great thing.
Plus, it helps, and the way we do it is, we do our business primarily with the Fair Deal Village store.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do our business with them. So you're doing two things. You're providing necessary goods and services for people who have limited resources, and you're supporting that store.
Right.
Okay. Now, for those who want to complain, do some of the things that we're doing. Support that store. Do something for the seniors right here, right down the street here. Do some of that. Engage in some positive things rather than always on the negative side of things. And I don't dwell on it because I don't spend a lot of time on it because we got too much business to do. One other thing I want to share with you all. I visited with a group from one of our neighborhood associations. They went out. 2 of them went out, and they went around their neighborhood association, and they found all the properties that were rental properties that had not registered yet. They gave me the list. It's been turned in. Register for the landlord registry. So do we know where they are? We had a group that went out did that. I would love for more of our neighborhood associations to do exactly that, so that we know where rental property is and who owns it, and if it's not being kept up, what we can do about it. Exactly. I mean, she did.
And actually, you can advocate to to the best of your ability when you have the information.
Yes. Yeah. So now we can turn those addresses in. The planning department can send them letters now and say, look, you got 14 days to register. And if you don't register, you move to the top of the list of being inspected every year.
Now there was a deadline for all landlords to register the property.
It was March 30th.
Okay.
But that was for the voluntary registration. Now we're going after people who have not registered yet. And we're not being punitive about it. We're just saying, and we're not charging you money and all of that, but we are saying that you need to get registered so we know who to contact, so that the neighbors know who to contact.
And they're going to register with who?
Register with city planning department.
City planning department.
That landlord registry, the ordinance that I got passed last year or earlier this year, that landlord registry now is up and running. You can go on the website, the planning department's website, and see who all have registered and who owns property where. And what we want to do is expand on that. And so what this group did was they went out and they found all of the rental properties in the area. Some had registered, some had not. They differentiated between the ones that had not registered. They sent that list to me. There's 227 registered properties there that are not registered. So they did what they needed to do to, make sure that they get registered. And, that's my hope for all the neighborhood associations, that, once we pull something together, the leaders of those organizations, make sure that we, when people are causing problems in your community, or you see rundown and abandoned properties and so forth, write that stuff down, send it to me, send it to the planning department so that we can investigate whether they've registered or not and where that property sits. So I wanted to talk about that.
Also, since you come on property, I see that one of the landlords didn't get the tip money. People, Paladino, they didn't give them the tip money.
No.
And then what are we doing about I know the 211, if anyone have a mortgage problem or rent problems, you can call 211, and they have a mortgage relief fund. But how's that been?
I haven't monitored it. I haven't monitored that part of it, Bill. So I don't want to be, talk out of school or give you an answer that is, inflated or untrue or whatever.
Right.
So I really haven't kept up on that part of it. So I don't know where that sits right now.
Cool. Omaha, before we get out of here, I know the president, the councilman has to get out of here. The Empowerment Network, in relationship with the health department, dropped off some masks. So we have some masks.
Nice.
We got like about 100 masks to give away to the community.
Good.
All right.
So if you guys need some masks, come down to our station, 2314 North 24th Street, or just give me a call and we'll just bring it out and give you guys some masks.
Wonderful
Nice.
idea.
That's a good move.
95%. So these things are good.
No, that's an N95 mask. Let me see.
Is that the N95 mask?
It's in Chinese. I can't read Chinese. It's at 95, so
95%. Yeah, it's
I can read that.
Yeah, it's an N95 in Chinese.
Now, speaking of masks, Councilman, before you go, the Douglas County Health Department, they have that program put together, Masks for All, or something like that.
Yeah.
How's that going? I know there was a petition to kind of request materials like fabrics so that we could get people to make the mask. Even a request for people that know how to sew to step forward and sew, and devote their time to sewing these masks and getting them out to people. How's that going? And
Martine, that's ramping up pretty well. That
Good.
Portion of it is ramping up pretty well.
Okay.
So we're getting people that are contributing and sewing and so forth and so on. So, that's kind of, and one of the original ideas for doing that in the first place started in the state of Nebraska here.
Okay.
So, we have, we've kind of been the parents of that idea. And that ramped up pretty well because we already had a start in Nebraska, because we had someone that was doing it in Nebraska, and they did it and it got so popular that they had to increase their online work on it because they were getting orders from just about every state in the country.
Okay, so we still need people to donate their time, donate fabric, How's that?
I think we always need to do that because again, we're not going to get through this in the time frame that people think we are, and or some people believe we are, or so I think we're going to be needing that for a long time. I think there's going to be a time, when we can be a little closer together and eliminate some of the social distancing. But I think we're going to be wearing masks for a while.
All right. So Omaha, Nebraska, you hear it. If you want to come down and get a mask, we just got donated or gifted 100 masks. Mm-hmm. And if you are a seamstress out there and you want to step up and give your time and make masks, the health department, Douglas County Health Department, is requesting your help. If you have extra fabric to donate, you can also donate your fabric to the county, Douglas County Health Department, their program, so they can get more masks out to the community.
The other thing too, Martine, is that I forgot about this, but I wanted to remind people too that the Christian bookstore that has a space down in the Fairdeal Village, Divine Inspirations.
Yes.
They had masks.
Yeah, they sure did.
Where they made masks.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of weeks ago, they didn't have masks. But they had a few masks because I bought most of them for the towers.
Right. Okay, good.
That's cool. Yeah. You guys in Canada, again, Divine Inspiration. They have a variety of masks. I know Miss Butler. There's a few people around the community that are producing them. Again, we want to thank the health department. They'll be here tomorrow. Phil Rooney, I think Dr. Smith will be in tomorrow.
She'll be in next week.
Oh, next week.
Dr. Smith will be in next week.
So if you guys need a mask, if you know anyone that need a mask, just give me a call, 402-714-6482. We'll make sure you guys get a mask. We will make sure that everyone's healthy as we move day to day. We'll keep you guys updated on that team party too. We might have to crash the party. They can't do nothing with a lot of adults over there. You know what I mean? We had to crash the party. No, but on a serious note, I feel for you, young people. Let's just stay wise, and maybe we come up with a plan sometime in August. I got a plan. I got a vision. I got a vision. I got a vision for a concert. It could be epic. It could be outdoors with social distancing and everything, and it's gonna be at an epic place in North Omaha. All right. So just wait a little bit because we want to make sure that we want you guys to get your family sick, y'all. Honest to God. So let's just be wise. Mothers, dads, uncles, y'all. Especially the men. Y'all keep your kids at home. Get your nephews and nieces. Tell them to stay at home because the mama and them gonna get them. All right. Brother Ben, anything else you want to say out of here?
No, because I got to go do some shopping for the tower, so I got to meet Sal here in a little while. So,
all right, cool.
But thank y'all for the time. I always appreciate being here.
Well, man, we'll expect you back in a couple of weeks.
Yep,
brother Ben, we appreciate it. And anything else come up in regard to the city council? Any way we can help you as far as research, because that was a great task force. They came together, gave you that list, but you can't do it all. It takes a community in order to make a stronger leader. And so people always want to complain that one person is not doing something. But man, what the heck you doing? I mean, honest to God, we take too much time complaining. That time that we're complaining, we could be planning and helping. And so let's reverse that time. And so Martine, any last words before we get out of here?
No, I just want to read this comment from Judy Williams. Good morning, Judy. She says, "Oh, and Mr. King, thanks you again for your Walmart cards for the young lady babies. Your second time viewer. This is their second time viewing the show." Okay. All right. So we are passing out Walmart.
I do. I got about 5 more. Cause we've been giving them out to needy families. Yeah. No, normally we'll do a first caller. No. If you know a family that have kids or maybe an elderly person that can't go out, but we got $30 gift cards that will give us to us by Assembly of the Saint Church right down the street. Man, I love our neighbors. 4224 North 24th Street. They got all the 2s and the 4s and they number. 4224 North 24th Street. Assemblies of the Saint Church. They just probably about a block and a half south of Ames, right across the street from the Logiers.
All right, they're our neighbors. Yep.
That's a love thy neighbor move.
Yes.
And so they gave us $10, $30 Walmart gift cards. I gave about 4 away. I got 6 left. Give me a call if you know a family. Well, I'll drop them off. And $30 might not mean nothing to you, but $30 mean a lot to a person that need it. And so don't think it's small, because it could be gigantic to a family, mother that need formula or need some diapers, whatever. We want to make sure that we're there. And that's a Love Thy Neighbor move. Today is Love Yourself Thursday. Oh, yeah. You better love yourself today. Be intentional.
That's right.
Be intentional today. Love yourself. I'm probably going to get my grandson. He's like 3, 4. Oh, man, that little dude, boy. So I'm going to love myself today real much. So
right.
Be careful out there. I think it's kind of a little misty. Drive safe out there.
Yeah, be safe. I'm just going to go out and love thy neighbor. I'm going to, I gifted someone a tripod selfie so they can, zoom in or do FaceTime with other people. So, and I saw that they were having difficulty with the phone being propped up. So I said, let me help them out. Mm-hmm. Let me get them something so they can continue to connect with their family. And that's the Love Thy Neighbor move. Being able, while we're quarantined and still being able to still connect with our family members, our loved ones, and just reach out and make sure they're okay. So you go out and show your love in whatever way you can, Omaha, Nebraska, and because it is Thursday, Love Thyself Thursday. Go out and be a friend to someone, help someone out. Come and get one of these face masks and pass it down to someone that needs one. Maybe you have one, but maybe your neighbor does not. And we've just been gifted 100 face masks. So let us know. Contact King. Let them know you want to come pick up a couple or whatever. And pass it down, pay it forward. You guys go out and have a good day.
Thank you all.
You're welcome. Thank you, Councilman.
I gotta go shop now.
Going to Walmart?
It's just a public service announcement.
Are you tired of hearing about the coronavirus? Well, it's real.
I'm telling you, it's real. Here's what I want you all to do for me. Yo, check this out, man.
Don't panic. If you're sick, stay home.
Stay away from me. You're contagious.
Stay at least 6 feet away from others.
The most dangerous disease. Coronavirus.
Wash your hands frequently and practice good hygiene.
Stand and show these people what time it is, boy.
We can stop the spread of the virus.
Coronavirus. Cover your mouth. Say it. You're contagious.
So stay home, stop the spread, save lives. Most importantly, let's check on our elderly.
Word up, you ain't going out like this.
We're here to keep you informed.
Coronavirus. Just get it real. Don't believe the hype.
In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
Don't believe the hype.
You may have received the 2020 census form in the mail. It's important to fill it out. It ensures proper funding for public schools, healthcare clinics, and so much more. If you have any questions about completing the census form, members from our community will be in your neighborhood to help. And to make sure you understand your census information is safe, confidential, and important. Like you, we're part of the community. For information, visit nebraskacounts.org. Paid for by Civic Nebraska.
It's just a public service announcement.
Are you tired of hearing about the coronavirus?
Coronavirus.
Well, it's real.
I'm telling you, it's real. Here's what I want you all to do for me. Yo, check this out, man.
Don't panic. If you're sick, stay home.
Stay away from me. You're contagious.
Stay at least 6 feet away from others.
Most dangerous disease. Coronavirus.
Wash your hands frequently and practice good hygiene.
Stand and show these people what time it is, boy.
We can stop the spread of the virus.
Coronavirus. Cover your mouth. Say it. You're contagious.
So stay home, stop the spread, save lives. Most importantly, let's check on our elderly.
Word up, you ain't going out like this.
We're here to keep you informed.
Coronavirus. Just get it real. Don't believe the hype.
In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.
Don't believe the hype.
You may have received the 2020 census form in the mail. It's important to fill it out. It ensures proper funding for public schools, healthcare clinics, and so much more. If you have any questions about completing the census form, members from our community will be in your neighborhood to help. And to make sure you understand your census information is safe, confidential, and important. Like you, we're part of the community. For information, visit nebraskacounts.org. Paid for by Civic Nebraska.
Statement on 2020 Census operational adjustments. The 2020 census is underway and more households across America are responding every day. In light of the COVID-19 outbreak, the U.S. Census Bureau is adjusting 2020 census operations in order to protect the health and safety of the American public and Census Bureau employees, implement guidance from federal and state and local authorities, ensure a complete and accurate count of all communities. The Census Bureau temporarily suspended 2020 census field data collected activities in March. Steps are already being taken to reactivate field offices beginning June 1, 2020 in preparation for the resumption of field data collection operations as quickly as possible following June 1. In-person activities, including all interactions with the public, enumerations, office work, and processing activities, will incorporate the most current guidance to promote the health and safety of staff and the public. This will include recommended personal protective equipment and social distancing practices. Once 2020 census data collection is complete, the Census Bureau begins the lengthy, thorough, and scientifically rigorous process to produce the apportionment count, redistricting information, other statistical data products that help guide hundreds of billions of dollars in public and private sector spending per year. In order to ensure the completeness and accuracy of the 2020 census, the Census Bureau is seeking statutory relief from Congress of 120 additional calendar days to deliver final apportionment counts. Under this plan, the Census Bureau would extend the window for field data collections self-response to October 31st, 2020, which will allow for the apportionment count to be delivered to the President by April 30th, 2021, and redistricting data to be delivered to the states no later than July 31st, 2021. My friends, the 2020 census data will help our community create jobs, provide housing, prepare for emergencies, and build schools, roads, and hospitals. Do your part and respond today online at my2020census.gov, over the phone at 844-330-2020, or by mail, all without having to meet a census taker. Nebraska, Omaha, North Omaha, keep up the good work. Every day's game day, y'all.
Baby, let me explain to you what I'm saying.
What you saying?
It's not even like that.
It wasn't like that, but I saw you.
Baby, I don't love her.
You don't love me? You know what? I don't even want to talk to you.
She don't mean nothing to me.
I don't want to see your face.
She was just
I just want to see you walking through that
baby,
door. Ain't nothing else to say.
Why we gotta do it like this? Baby, damn.
Come home late, it seems you barely beat the sun. Tapping my shoulder, thinking you gon' get